Hi my little Rays, it's Ray from Rayro Studios, and today I'm going to be doing another storytime video where I talk about why I'll never go to high school ever again. As usual, I'm going to be making sure everyone's names are private by giving them random made-up names. But most people in my school know I have a YouTube channel, so if I speak ill of anyone, you know who you are. Now, before we get into the video, I have a few things to announce. First things off, go check out my brother's YouTube channel. The link will be down and below. Subscribe to his channel or I'll break into your house and eat your cheese. Secondly, can y'all explain to me how out of the 182 of y'all that are subscribed and the usual 5K of you that watch my YouTube shorts, how only 3.6% of you are actually subscribed to me? Now that simply won't do. Subscribe to my channel for more of these amazing storytime videos and so much more, and you will be rewarded with cookies that I personally made. Anyway, with that aside, let's get into why I'm never going back to public school ever again. Okay, let's get this one out of the way. Mr. H, love him to absolute bits. He was my favorite teacher out of all of them. Once I was done with my work, I got to spend the rest of the class period frolicking in my own little world of drawings. He is amazing. Then there was my math teacher, Mrs. R, and she wasn't bad. She was very old and just needed to retire. She was too old to be dealing with the absolute hooligans that were in my classroom. And speaking of those hooligans, oh my god, I've never wanted to bash someone's brain in with my laptop before in my entire life before meeting those guys. Look, I get it. No one wants to be here. No one wants to learn algebra. Everyone knows that algebra is useless unless you're going into a field that specifically inquires algebra. But do you guys have to scream and kick up a fuss every 15 minutes? Like, golly, y'all screamed so loud one time that the teacher on the other side of the wall thought a fight broke out because someone had the bright idea to shout at the top of their lungs for no random reason. And you're all such snitches too. Like, you'll be the ones sneaking your phone, eating Takis in class, but then when that one white kid decides, you know what, I'm not gonna be able to learn anything in class with you guys around, I'm just going to give up and watch YouTube, y'all be the first to snitch. Like, mind your business before I stop minding mine. And for this story, I'm gonna need to add some context. So like, there were an abnormal amount of people in this algebra class. So like, the walkways were like really small. So we all had to like sit really close to each other. And when I say in the middle of this subject, while we were trying to learn a new subject in class, this girl got up and started doing her friend's hair right in front of us so we couldn't see the blasted board. Like, I legitimately learned nothing in that class because my autistic ADHD-ridden brain had no room to learn because it was too hyper-focused on all the screaming and shouting and constant shenanigans. And like, yeah, my teacher should have done more to keep a stricter control over her students, but like I said, she was near dear retirement material, and like, aren't we all in high school now? Like, I don't expect you all to be acting adult-like, but I do expect you all to act like you've at least have some home training. And then I had environmental science, which that one's a little bit tricky because for the first few weeks, I had a really sweet teacher. She was amazing, but then she got pregnant and had to take some time off. So we got another teacher, and that one Ooh, I did not like that one. The thing I hated most about this teacher is that she tried to gaslight me into thinking that I didn't turn in a project I know for a good gosh darn fact that I did turn in. And I know for a fact she saw me turn it in because I literally asked her for a stapler so I could staple my paper to my science project. And because of her stupidity, it never got graded, which means I didn't get any points, which means it mega tanked my grade and I had to catch back up super quickly. But luckily, after like a few smart remarks from the class clown in our classroom, she up and quit halfway through the year and we got a no-nonsense teacher. But not really like the bad type of no-nonsense. Basically, you respect her, she respects you, and we all get along just fine and swell. But nobody, and I mean no teacher in the entire school or in my entire routine, angers me more than my first period teacher, my culinary arts teacher. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I'm a foodie and that I want to be a chef. So you might be wondering, Ray, if you like to eat and you like to make food for you to eat, shouldn't culinary being your first class period be amazing? That's what I thought too, ladies and gentlemen. But no, I woke up in dread every single morning because I had to listen to this annoying, whiny shell of a woman speak. If there was one way for me to describe my feelings towards her, it would be like this.
I hate that bitch. I hate her. I hate that fucking bitch. I fucking hate that fucking bitch. I fucking
Yeah, that's the perfect way I would describe it. Never in my entire life of cooking for a family of 11 have I ever wanted to heat up a butcher's knife and Vincent van Gogh my own ears off just so I wouldn't have to hear her whiny voice. And y'all can believe what you want to believe when I say she whined about everything. But when I say all she ever did in that class was give us assignments on the tablet and then whine some more, that's all she ever did was complain, give us assignments on the laptop, and then complain some more. That's all she ever did. And I can already hear you guys typing. But Ray, what about labs? Surely things got better when labs came around. Oh ho ho ho. It's not a matter of when labs came around. It's a matter of if labs came around. Because she was always finding a bloody reason to cancel it. And I mean she would find any bloody reason to cancel it. Someone forgot their charger and now they need to charge their laptop. Oops, guess labs canceled for the next 2 weeks. What? This one specific person made fun of my improper grammar? Guess the entire class isn't doing lab for the next 3 freaking weeks. What? None of my students are stopping what they're doing to make a cleanup station because I gave them a very all hands on deck quick paced type of meal to make? Oh, guess I'm stopping lab right in the middle so I can give them a lecture on safety. And speaking of safety, she does not follow her own gosh darn advice. One time I was cooking a meal and I was heating up the pan and she wanted to be right so gosh darn bad that she took the hot pan off of the stove, didn't watch where she was going, almost landed the pan right on my hand, and thankfully I moved fast enough, but then she almost started a fire by putting the pan on a piece of paper. And the worst part is she was so busy on her little high horse she didn't even notice that she almost gave me a 3rd-degree burn and almost started a flipping fire. And it wasn't even like it was a teacher that was like this all the time. No, it was apparently just with her first period class. And she was so awful that anytime we realized that she wasn't gonna be here for that day, someone, aka my friend, literally came in skipping happy jolly into the room. She was such a bad teacher that at one point when she tried to threaten us with the whole no lab for this week thing, we all had the mentality of we do not care. Because if we didn't get lab, okay, just another week of clicking buttons on the computer. And if we did get lab, it was either going to be the most boring basic food you could possibly think of to cook, or a most complex meal you've ever heard of that is simultaneously the most disgusting thing you ever tasted. And I'm not kidding when I say that. When I'm telling you that one class, aka third or second period, was making cookies, we were making onion soup. Onion soup, my guy. Why is one class making cookies while we're making freaking onion soup? And then there was the flipping unprofessionalism with her. There were literally rumors. No, I can't even say there were rumors. There were based evidence that she was smack-talking us to her other class period. And let's get one thing straight. Sure, she didn't have the picture-perfect class, but she did not have demon spawns in her class like she tried to pretend she had. The absolute worst she had it was when students would whisper in her class. That's it. She acts like these students are throwing books around, starting kitchen fires, and throwing bleach everywhere with how much she complains. She was such a horrible teacher that one girl literally said, "Just send me to the principal's office so I don't have to spend a class period with you." And she still didn't think she was the problem. Man, adults will do anything but admit that they're the problem. Another thing that she did that I absolutely hate is her, "This kitchen needs to run like it would in a restaurant." And then she proceeds to not allow it to be run like it would in a restaurant. Like, she actually, no joke, wants people to stop cooking their all-hands-on-deck meal to start up a cleaning station. That's not how it works in an actual kitchen. Chefs don't just stop what they're doing to make a cleaning station. That's what the dishwasher is for. Anyway, let's talk about my English teacher. If I talk about my culinary teacher for one more second, I might just pop a blood vessel. My English teacher was actually really funny. She was also no nonsense, but she was kind of like the fun type of no nonsense, you know? She once made us do a project on the Odyssey, and we all had to act out how we thought the Cyclops was defeated by Odysseus. But unfortunately, I'm shy, and the majority of the people at my table were shy, so we gave an okay performance. And we didn't get that extra credit either. Trust me, if I knew there was extra credit on the line, I would have given a stellar performance when I fell on my face. But besides the teachers, then there were the students, which were by far the worst part of my school experience. They were so obnoxious. If they weren't being passive-aggressive to the teachers and absolutely throwing the whole lesson plan off whack, they were being gigantic douchebags to everyone they saw. Like, there was this one girl who, when I was walking into the hallway, she tried to literally phase through me. She, was continuously pushing herself up against me. And when she almost got her foot caught up in my book bag, by the way, I had a rolly book bag with, the wheels. It kind of looks like a suitcase. Yeah, I had one of those book bags. She almost got her foot caught in it. Thankfully, I was able to move it, and then she cussed me out for it. Maybe if you weren't trying to Danny Phantom through me, I wouldn't have almost ran your foot over. And you might be wondering, Ray, why didn't you just move faster? Because there were people in front of me, and I'm not Danny Phantom either. Do they think if I could just phase through the people in front of me, I wouldn't have done it already? I want to get to lunch as quickly as you do as well, but I'm not Danny Phantom once again, so I can only go as fast as they allow me to go. Like y'all, I want to be at lunch too. Do you think I want to be in this overstimulating hallway? No, I just spent the past 2 hours in an autistic person's overstimulated nightmare. I don't want to be here either, but just like every other living being in this school, I have to wait my turn to get to places. So hold your horses and get off of my rear. But it wasn't all too bad all the time. Like I said, I had some really cool and awesome teachers, along with I made a few friends there as well. I even got a girlfriend out of going to high school, so that was definitely a bonus. And then my mom had to go and tell the counselor I have ADHD, so they rerouted my schedule, which means I barely had any time to hang out with my friends, and the only time I got to hang out with them is either during lunch on the rare occasion or during the final period for a few minutes. Like, dang universe, why are you always doing this to me? Why is it that every time I make friends in real life, something has to happen? Either I move, the friendship gets messed up, or this happens. Like, why does this keep happening to me? What did I do in a past life to deserve this? I'm out of things to complain about, and we're at the end of the video now. So what should the lesson of the day be? Lesson of the day: act like you have some gosh darn sense. Don't be rude to nice teachers. And parents, put your children on leashes before someone else does it for you. But with that out of the way, that's the end of the video, my little rays. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video to other people. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!